Hello, welcome to the channel. This video is our industrial cabinet build, and it was built to complement the industrial LED table that I built previous to this. And we had the base, we had an extra base from that table, so we thought we'd make a complementary piece here with this cabinet that would go right along with the table that we built. Here, of course, I'm just framing up the whole cabinet, getting the dimensions. I don't remember the exact sizes of this. It was 18 inches wide, by about 3 foot long, something like that, probably about 18 inches tall. Here we're welding up for the doors. These will be on the face of it. So on the face of this, there'll be 2 doors, and the rest will just be encased with walnut. As we're seeing here, I am just sizing up the door, making sure they're fitting properly and going to be nice and square, and getting ready to place some hinges on top of them. So just welding in the hinges. I had this big chunk of walnut in the shop for many months. I'm very glad to be getting to this project so I can cut this up and get it out of my shop. This is the lengthiest part of the whole process, is really just cutting up all this walnut and getting it to size, pointing it down. I just put the short version on here, or else it'd take up most of the video. And now we're just trying to put the panels together so we can enclose that steel carcass, if you will. So we're just doing all of our glue ups. You know, here again, we're cutting down all this wood, trying to get the right thickness. I wish I had a more manly table saw, but this is what I have to work with, so this is how we get it done. And after hours and hours of cutting the wood and planing the wood, you get to move on to hours and hours of sanding, which I'm not going to bore you with all of that, but boy, it's a big part of the project. And of course, then you got to straighten out all the wood, keep everything nice and straight so you can get your glue ups so all the edges come together nicely. Now I'm working on the actual top to the cabinet. I'm trying to keep it about the same thickness as the table, which was about 1.5 inches. You can see my mock-up there on the left with all the circles and my cardboard there, which I'm cutting out right there with that piece of steel. Trying to make it work, just trying to match up so it blends in with the legs of the table. All of these pieces are going to be just decorative pieces to go in the corners. Just thought it looked nice. That's why I'm grinding down these welds so I can put the corner pieces on with some rivets. Just gives it a cool look. This was quite the challenge to take this. I forget if that's a 6 or an 8-inch hole saw, but it just was too much for my Harbor Freight drill press. So I got it about halfway through, gave up, and then went down to the bandsaw here and cut it up. Would have been nice to get it all the way through. Would have had a nice cleaner cut. I wouldn't have to sand it so much, but again, that's what I have to work with. Now this is that secondary base, because I made 2 of these for the table. The original plan was to put 2 of these, one on either end of the table, and then that got changed to just one base. So if you wanted to see the build of this base, you would have to check out the LED industrial table build, which I will link into this video down below. At this point, I've cleaned up all the steel with some acetone and put, basically this is an acid on here which darkens the steel. Rub it all over all of the steel, including the cabinet and this base, and let it soak for a bit, and then you rub it all back off, and then I put oil over the top of it all just to kind of lock it in, keep it from rusting. Here I'm just shining up the edges, gives it a little bit of a sparkle on different parts of this whole cabinet. It's a little hard to see in the video, but in person it just really highlights the steel, and to me it's a really cool look. Here I'm just trying to mock everything up, make sure I have all the pieces in the right spots so the grains flow the way I want them to, and everything fits properly before I commit to actually attaching all the rest of the parts and the pieces. If you've watched any of my videos, you'll see me use this urethane product. I love it. It sticks to anything in almost any conditions. And I didn't really want to have any fasteners visible on the sides and certain spots, so I use this. You put it in there, you let it dry overnight, and good luck ever trying to move it again. And some of these details are the same details that are on the LED table. And right underneath the top of the table I have an angle iron like this with some rivets in it. So I just really wanted it to match as well as I possibly could. At this point, all I need is a couple of little hand pulls. So I took this, I had these giant bolts, carriage bolts laying around, so I just cut those up and stuck them in there, and the top of them really looked just like the rivet, so I thought that was a pretty good match. Seemed to work out. And there we have it, all complete on the stand. And that will sit right next to that LED walnut table. Hope you enjoyed it. Love it if you subscribe. Thanks so much.